Hi, and welcome to Rumbo al inglés. I'm Alberto Alonso, and I am here, as always, with the marvelous, captivating, stellar, talented, spectacular, astonishing, but vengeful Rachel of the River. Hello, Raquel.
Hi, Alberto. How are you?
I'm great. I'm doing pretty well. And yourself?
I'm okay.
Yeah?
I'm okay, thank you.
All right.
I was wondering something.
What were you wondering, Raquel? Oh, no.
Can I ask you a favor, please?
You can ask me a favor. It doesn't mean I'm going to do it, but go ahead. Shoot.
Okay. Can you do an impression of the movie guy trailer?
The movie guy trailer. Oh, you're talking about the movie trailer guy.
Yeah,
The guy who
what
does
I
the
meant.
voice. Okay. Before, Raquel and I were just playing before the cameras began. And she likes when I do the movie guy voice. Now, you know the guy. I don't know. I'm a little embarrassed. Should I do it? You
Yes,
think
please.
Yeah?
Go on.
All right. Well, there's one guy. I'm sure you know who he is. He does all the movie trailers. Now, but before I begin that, I want to explain something. You said to do an impression of. What is this, Raquel? To do an impression of. What is this?
Hacer el papel.
Yeah, to impersonate. To do an impression of someone is to impersonate someone. Raquel, do you do any impressions of anyone?
No.
Not even your parents, your sisters?
I can copy my sister or my mother sometime.
Okay, sure. Anyone you're used to hearing a lot, like I can do a perfect impression of my father. In fact, at family parties, they tell me to do impressions of my father. So, but you want me to do an impression of the movie trailer?
Yes, please.
Well, I just want to explain one more thing, because you know I like to explain everything just to make sure you know what we're talking about. Okay, it's a little different. To do an impression of someone is imitar, right? To make an impression, what is this? To make an impression.
For somebody.
Okay, to make an impression on somebody. So, for example, I'm meeting a friend this week and his new wife. I hope she makes a good impression on me. Okay, this means I hope me cae bien, or that she, I don't know, how would you say this in Spanish? To make a good impression on someone.
Espero que la caiga bien.
Okay, yeah,
Que le caiga bien.
Yeah, que le caiga. To make a good impression is when you go to a job interview, for example, you want to make a good impression. You don't want to do an impression because they'll think you're crazy. But if you make a good impression, that's what they say. Because first impressions are the most important. Isn't that right, right?
Yeah.
All right, you want me to do my impression?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go on.
Okay. In a world where everybody needs to speak English, one girl, one man, 26 minutes of pure English mayhem, produced by El Mundo TV and Vaughn Systems, Rumbo al inglés, January 7th, coming soon to a theater near you.
That's brilliant. I really like it, Alberto.
I feel embarrassed now.
No, it was really good.
You made me do it. You have to do it. You owe me an impression now.
No, I can't.
No, you can't? All right. I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to give you until the next show.
Okay.
And I want you to come up with an impression for me of somebody, okay? It doesn't matter who. It can even be something crazy. It doesn't matter. Do you do any impressions? Well, it's fun. It's always fun to imitate and do impressions. So, all right. That was the movie trailer guy. I love his voice, though. Doesn't he have a tremendous voice?
He does.
It's scary. It's almost like when you're watching the trailer, he's like, rated R. And you're like, oh, no. You start to really get involved in what he's saying. Okay. Well, Raquel, today we have a crazy class. Why is it a crazy class? Ask me.
Why is a crazy class?
One more time.
Why is the class crazy?
Why is the class crazy? Because you and I are in the class. That's why it's crazy. That's enough of a reason why it's crazy. No, the class is crazy because today we're going to review everything. Now, Raquel, you know I always stress this. The importance of reviewing, because I can give you so much information. But if you don't keep it here and bring it out here, that's where it stays. It stays on paper, it stays in here, but it doesn't come out. So you should review at least 20 minutes a day, at least. I know you're busy. Don't make excuses. Everybody's busy. Isn't that right?
Everyone is busy.
Everyone's busy. But if you want to improve, you have to make that effort. Okay? Listening. Watch our program every day. We know you love it. That's the idea, right? Okay. All right, so today it's time to review. Let's see how much you retain. Let's see how much information you retained. Okay, are you ready? I'm going to ask you your favorite thing first.
Okay.
What is your favorite thing? And I know you know it now, and you know it just because I kept asking you, and we kept reviewing it, and I forget the word in Spanish, detestable.
Obnoxious.
Obnoxious, yes. I'm sorry to be obnoxious, but that's my job. I have to make sure you're getting all this information. Okay, let's take a look. First, we're going to look at, remember we said the last time I went to New York was. We could make this a lot shorter, we said. How can we make this? Let's do this. Bea, can you give us a chart? Give us a chart when you have a moment over here. And we're going to talk about this. I last went, okay? We're going to get a chart in a second here. There it is. Okay, I love it. Perfect. Okay, remember, the key things here is if there is an auxiliary verb, last goes after. So it would be, I was last in New York 1 year ago. If there isn't an auxiliary verb, it goes where?
Before.
Before, absolutely. 5 points for you, Raquel. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, now, this is just something I wanted to go over. Now, how would we say this then? La última vez, ¿cuándo fue la última vez que estuviste en Nueva York?
When did you last go to New York?
Yes, what do you want to know, Raquel?
I want to know when you last went to New York.
Okay, I last went to New York 1 year ago. I went to New York 1 year ago. Okay, ask me when I first went to the circus.
When did you first go to the circus?
Yes, okay, what do you want to know?
I want to know when you first went to the circus.
I went to the circus when I was 3 years old, okay? When did you first go to the circus?
I don't remember. Probably I first went to the circus when I was
remember,
8.
Remember, Raquel, we cannot start a sentence in English with probably. So I probably went. Subject, right? Give it to me one more time. Tell me again.
I probably
There it is.
went to the circus when I was 8
Okay, when I
years
was 8.
ago.
Okay, when you were 8 years old. Did you remember the circus?
I remember, but I don't remember how old I was.
Okay. Well, if you tell us how old you were, we're going to know your age. And it's not really good to tell your age, is it? Although we all know you're 21 years old. We all know Raquel is 21 years old. Okay. All right. Very good. Okay. Ask me when I last flew a plane.
When did you last flew? When did you last fly a plane?
Thank you very much. What do you want to know?
I want to know when you last flew a plane.
Yes. I last flew a plane about 4 years ago. Okay. I last flew a plane about 4 years ago. Okay. It was a lot of fun. I love flying planes. You know I love planes.
I know.
You know this is one of my favorite hobbies. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Very good. So I first went. I last went. Let me give you just a few translations for you. I'll give it to you the long version, and I want you to give it to me in the short version. You too, okay? Stick with us. Follow along. Here we go, okay? The last time we did this was when we were kids.
I last did
No,
this.
we is the subject, right?
The
The
last
last time
time.
we did this was when we were kids.
Okay, we last did this when we were kids.
Yes, we last did this when we were kids. Ask me.
When did you
And we will keep the same subject, right?
when did you last do this?
Okay, I last did this when I was 2 years old, for example. Whatever this may be, you can make it up. Okay, make it up. Inventar, right? Okay, another one, another time. The last time I saw you was when we were at the university together.
When did you last see me?
Okay, what do you want to know?
I want to know when you last saw me.
Very good. Okay, this one, I don't want to think about it, but it's time. The last time I cried was when Chanquete died.
When did you last cry?
The last time I cried was when I thought about when Chanquete died, and that was a few programs ago. But I don't want to think about that. I'm going to block it out. I'm going to block it out. Okay? Chanquete. I don't know what it is. I just have a special connection with Chanquete. Okay? All right. Very good. Very good. Now, how do you say, si no estudias, lo estás buscando, te lo estás buscando?
If you don't study, you're asking for trouble.
You're asking for trouble. Give yourself 5 points. Did you remember that? You're asking for trouble if you don't study. You're asking for trouble. Yeah, I told you. So watch it. You better study. You better study, okay? All right. Now, is there another way we can say you're asking for trouble?
You're asking for it.
You're asking for it. Absolutely. You're asking for it if you don't study. Do you agree?
I do.
Yeah, I think so. I think that you need to study. Okay, let's look at another one. Okay, this one, what is the point of? What does this mean? Do you remember we looked at this? What is the point of? How do we say, ¿de qué vale estudiar si no vas a usarlo? How do you say this?
What's the point of studying?
Studying, right? What's the point of studying?
What's the point of studying if you're not going to use it?
Yeah, what's the point of studying if you're not going to use it? Remember, what's the point of plus the gerund plus ing. What's the point, what's the point of studying if you're not going to use it, okay? Ask me.
Is there any point in studying if you're not going to use it?
No, there's no point in, no sirve de nada. Remember, there's no point in studying if you're not going to use it, okay? But since I know you have to use it at work and when you travel, then there is a point in studying. Do you agree, Raquel?
I do. I do agree with you.
Okay, all right. Now, how do you say hervir? Hervir.
To boil.
To boil. Very good. To boil. And how do you say se reduce a?
To boil down.
Okay, it boils down to would be the, okay, se reduce a. Okay. How do you say se reduce a una cuestión de dinero?
It all boils down to a question of money.
Yeah, or it all boils down to money. Directamente. It all boils down to money. Ask me, ¿a qué se reduce?
What is all boiled down?
One more time.
What
does it all boil down to? One more time.
What does it all boil down to?
Give it to me one more time all together.
Last time. What does it all boil down to?
What do you want to know?
I want to know what it's all boiled down to.
Okay, boiled or boils? Did you ask me in present or past? You're confusing me.
You're confusing me too.
Give it to me in the present, because you started in the present and then you went to the past. Give it to me in the present.
I want to know what all boils.
What it all?
I want to know what it all boils down to.
Give it to me one more time, fast and all together.
I want to know what it all boils down to.
It all boils down to studying as often as possible. I sound like a broken record, but guess what? It's the truth. There's no secret. There's no secret. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, how do you say siempre y cuando?
As long as, provided that.
Yes, as long as or provided that, which is more formal. When do we use provided that? When do we tend to use provided that?
In a very formal occasion, situation, when you're writing a letter, probably.
Absolutely, yeah. For emails, say, I will come, provided that you supply the materials, for example. Okay? What do you say? How do you say, me alegro de haber dejado de fumar?
I'm glad I quit smoking.
Okay, I'm glad I quit smoking. I'm going to give you 5 points if you can give it to me with the phrasal verb.
I'm glad I gave up smoking.
Yes, I'm glad I gave up smoking. Ask me.
Are you glad you gave up smoking?
Yes, I'm glad I gave up smoking. Okay, ask me how long ago I gave up smoking.
How long ago did you give up smoking?
I gave up smoking, I would say about 4 years ago, completely. Okay, sometimes I would have an occasional cigarette, but now I gave it up. Ask me why I gave up smoking.
Why did you give up smoking, Alberto?
I gave up smoking because I started doing exercise, and the two don't go together. Okay, because I run, you know this, right?
Yes, you run.
I run a lot. Ask me how often I run.
How often do you run?
Okay, I run about 3 to 4 times a week. I run as much as possible. But
very good.
Ask me how long I run for.
How long do you run for?
Okay, I run for about an hour, anywhere from 45 minutes to 1 hour, depending. Ask me where I run.
Where do you run?
Okay, I run from my house in La Latina to Moncloa and back by Templo de Voz. It's very beautiful, okay, because I pass the Royal Palace, I pass the gardens, Templo de Voz. It's a very nice run at night, too, because everything's all lit up. It's very nice, okay? What is the phrasal verb? For 5 points. The phrasal verb for hacer ejercicios. What is it?
Work out.
To work out. Give yourself 5 points. Give yourself 5 points, too, if you got that right. To work out. To work out. What is the best way to remember a phrasal verb, Raquel del Rio?
The best way?
Yeah.
Work out.
Okay. Here's the best way to practice a phrasal verb. Are you ready? We're going to take this word work out, and we're going to say it and hear it about 5 times in the next minute. Are you ready? Raquel, ask me how often I work out.
How often do you work out?
Okay, what do you want to know?
I want to know how often you work out.
Sure, I work out 3 times a week. Okay, ask me if my sister works out.
Does your sister work out?
No, she doesn't work out. Ask me why she doesn't work out.
Why doesn't your sister work out?
Okay, what do you want to know?
I want to know why your sister doesn't work out.
Because she doesn't like to work out. Ask me why she doesn't like to work
Why
out.
doesn't she like working out?
Okay, what do you want to know?
I want to know why she doesn't like to work out.
Okay, good. Yeah, you can say it with both, like with to or like with ing. Very good. She doesn't like to work out because she doesn't have a lot of time. Do you like to work out, Raquel?
I like working out a little bit.
Okay,
if
tell me
I'm
to
not
ask-
tired.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If I'm not tired.
If you're not tired. Okay, tell me to ask you how often you work out.
Ask me how often I work out.
How often do you work out, Raquel?
I work out once a month.
Once a month. Oh, wow, very consistent. Very consistent. Okay, now did you see what we just did? Do you see how many times we repeated the word work out in its context? We repeated it so many times that now the word just started coming out naturally. That's how you should practice phrasal verbs. Asking a question, answering, asking another question based on that question. Direct, indirect, playing with the word until you feel comfortable with that word. Right? What do you think? Do you think this
That's
is a
very
good
good.
strategy? Yeah? And now you know the word, even if you maybe forgot it before, now you're sure. Because now you've just said it and heard it about 10 times or more in the last minute. Isn't that true?
That's true.
All right. 5 points for you for agreeing with me.
Thank you.
I'm generous today. I'm generous. Okay. We have also some irregular verbs. Your favorite. I know your favorite too. Just try and relax. Don't get carried away. No te emociones. Don't get carried away. Okay? All right. Here we go. Here we go. Every day I bend my arm. When I work out. Every day when I work out, I bend my arm.
Yesterday, you bent your arm.
Your arm, yeah. And lately?
You've bent your arm.
Sure. Okay, very good, very good. Every day my throat swells.
Yesterday, your throat swelled.
Yes. And lately?
Lately, your throat has swollen.
Swollen, right. Lately your throat has swollen. Hinchar, good, good. I remember this one was a new one for you. You had some difficulty, but you remembered it. Did you study it, Raquel?
I did, a little bit.
Okay, that's the idea. That's the idea, to study it as much as possible. Okay, now, another one. How do you say alcanzar or actualizarte? Do you remember this?
Catch up. To catch up.
To catch up with. To catch up with, absolutely. Let's practice this one in context a little bit, okay? Raquel, ask me if Barcelona is going to catch up with Real Madrid.
Albert, is Barcelona going to catch up with Real Madrid?
What do you want to know?
I want to know if Barcelona is going to catch up with Real Madrid.
No, Barcelona is not going to catch up with Real Madrid. Ask me why Barcelona isn't going to catch up with Real Madrid.
Why isn't Barcelona going to catch up with Madrid?
Okay, what do you want to know?
I want to know why Barcelona is not going to catch up with Madrid.
Okay, they're not going to catch up with Real Madrid because Real Madrid is the best team, okay? Ask me if Fernando Alonso was able to catch up with Raikkonen.
Was Fernando Alonso able to catch up with Raikkonen?
What do you want to know?
I want to know if Fernando Alonso was able to catch up with Raikkonen.
Good, good. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to catch up with Raikkonen, okay? But he did catch up with Hamilton, didn't he?
Yes, he did indeed.
Okay, he did. All right, you see again? We just used the word maybe at least 6 or 7 times in the same minute of just repeating it. This is how I know the phrasal verbs, and that's the way you're going to know them. The same thing. Repetition is the mother of all skills. You repeat something. Remember a simple question. What is your name? Do you have to think when you ask that question in English anymore?
No, I don't.
Where are you from? All these questions. You don't have to think. Why? Because you've said them and heard them so many times that these are so natural for you as maybe your own languages. Right? When you learned, these were some of the first things you learned, right? And they've become so natural because of repetition, verbal repetition, and also listening, right? Okay, good. Here's another one. Remember our show with the animals? There's only one that was left behind. Do you remember her name? What is her name? Tell them.
Her name is Olivia.
Olivia. How are you, Olivia? Okay? She's very quiet and very shy, but one day she's going to answer me. I promise. She will. Okay, Olivia, she's just absorbing. She's just listening because she's a Spanish giraffe. So she's also practicing her English too. Even though she doesn't speak very much, she's listening. She's listening for pronunciation. She's listening to rhythm. She's listening to structure. Okay, and new vocabulary. Yeah, okay. Okay, so here we go. Montones de. How do you say montones? There are many ways. Give me a few different ways to say this.
Piles of, stacks of,
Right?
heaps of,
Mhm.
mounds.
Okay.
No, mounds?
Mounds of, okay. Also
Mounds
loads,
of, loads.
piles, stacks, tons. Okay, and what if you want to really exaggerate it? What if you really want to exaggerate it? Piles and piles, right? You put the and, okay, and you make it plural. So I have stacks and stacks of books in my house. Okay, ask me if I have stacks and stacks of magazines in my house.
Do you have stacks and stacks of magazines in your house?
No, I don't. No, I don't. Okay. Tell me to ask you if you have piles and piles of shoes in your house. I know the answer.
Ask me if I have piles and piles of shoes in my house.
Do you have piles and piles or loads and loads of shoes in your house?
I have piles and piles of shoes in my place.
I believe it. I believe it. We were talking about, you had what? How do you say caimán?
Alligator.
Alligator. Very good. This was a vocabulary word from the other day. Sure. Very good. Very good. And how do you say conclusiones? I think it was llegar.
To draw conclusions.
To draw conclusions. Yeah, to draw conclusions. Very good. Give yourself 5 points. And you too. If you got that right, 5 points. Okay. How many points do you have now, Raquel?
225.
225 points. Can you catch up with Raquel? Can you catch up with Raquel? I hope you can, because Raquel is good. She knows how to get points, and she studies. Raquel studies. That's why she's in the high advanced class, okay? It's not a mistake that she's in this class. She's good. Do I get 5 points for all those compliments?
There you go. You have 20 more points.
20 more. Oh, wow, I got 20 points. I got loads and loads of points. Piles and piles of points. Okay, oh, I forgot to mention this. Ask me whose bracelet this is.
Whose bracelet is that one?
Is that? Whose bracelet is that, right? Ask me one more time.
Whose bracelet is that?
It's yours, Raquel. It's
I know.
yours. Okay, ask me why I'm wearing your bracelet.
Why are you wearing my bracelet?
Well, I thought it would match. Hacer juego. I thought it would match with my shirt. Does it match with my shirt?
It matches a little bit.
It matches.
It matches.
Right? Give it to me one more time.
It matches a little bit.
It matches a little bit, a little bit. It's an off green, right? Okay. I hope I don't stretch it. I hope I don't stretch it and make it bigger for you. But I don't know. I'm kind of growing attached to it. Maybe I'll give it to my friend here. I'll give it to Olivia. Okay? Peace. Peace and love. Peace and love. Okay? Ivan just told me again. Peace and love. He's such a peaceful guy. He's not a hippie, though. But he is a peaceful guy. Okay? Isn't Ivan a peaceful guy?
Yes, he is.
He's a very peaceful guy. He's a great guy, too. And he always makes sure that we have some fresh water. Ah, it's so good. Actually, it's whiskey. It's a joke. There's whiskey in here. No. No, man, we can't do that. That wouldn't be too good. I don't think I could speak English after a few whiskeys. Okay. All right. A few other things. Now, we said catch up with. What is this? We said catch up with is this. What is this? Mantener el ritmo. What is this? Do you remember?
Catch up.
To keep up with.
Oh.
Remember what I told you. If you keep up, you won't have to catch up. Okay? If you keep up now, you will not have to catch up later. I promise. So it's all about keeping up. That's the idea, to keep up. Okay? And how do you say por eso?
That's why.
That's why. Remember, we never, ever, ever, ever say for that, or I will take away all your points. Okay, I will take away every single point, and you won't have loads and loads of points. Okay, that's why is por eso. That's why. Okay, Raquel, ask me what time it is.
What time is it?
Well, I'm not going to tell you the literal time because that's not important, but it is time to wrap up. We have officially run out of time. I know. Don't cry. We'll be back. I promise. We're not going to abandon you. We promise not to abandon you. Isn't that right, Raquel?
That's right.
Okay. Well, Raquel, again, thank you so much for being here with us again today.
No problem. Thanks, Alberto.
Okay. Thank you for reviewing and keeping up so you don't have to catch up. And thank you. We want you to keep up so you can catch up with Raquel. Okay. We'll see you next time here on Rumbo al Inglés. Take care. Bye-bye.